Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our meeting of Monday, November 15th. And to start off our meeting, I am going to call upon past President Diane to introduce our guest speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. So our speaker today is Marietta Drost, the Community Leader Executive Director of L'Arche London. Marietta was referred to us by my friend, who is also joining us today, Sharon Lechner. Welcome to you both. L'Arche London is part of L'Arche, an international interfaith organization with over 150 communities around the world, consisting of communities in which people with and without disabilities share life and daytime activities together in family-like settings that are integrated into local neighborhoods. In 1985, Marietta lived for 2 years in a L'Arche community in the north of France and was inspired by this experience to study social work and completed her Master of Social Work degree at Wilfrid Laurier University. Today, Marietta serves in the role of Community Leader and Executive Director at London. I am very pleased to welcome you today as our guest speaker. Marietta, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Diane, for that introduction. And thank you to Sharon for making the link to the Rotary Club of London for L'Arche London. I'm going to share this morning a presentation, a kind of slideshow presentation, and I'll be kind of talking through the slides in the background, and there'll be full screen pictures up. And what I really would like to do is share with all of you about our community of L'Arche London. We have a beautiful community here in Lambeth. You know, you might have driven by our gathering place in the last 4 years that we opened on Colonel Talbot Road in Lambeth in 2017. And I'm thrilled to be here today. So I will go right into the sharing my screen and the presentation. This is our logo. If you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, the boat, where l'Arche is a French word for the Ark. And we did some painting. When we opened our gathering place, we had guests come and they did their own version of our logo. L'Arche exists in about 150 countries in the world today. We have communities in the developed world and also in isolated countries around the world. And we have a real relationship across those 140 communities. There are opportunities to know each other and to be in contact with each other. And so there is a sense of community across the world. I'd like to read to you our identity statement. We are people with and without intellectual disabilities, sharing life in communities belonging to the International Federation of L'Arche Communities. Mutual relationships and trust in God are at the heart of our journey together. And we celebrate the unique value of every person, and we really recognize our need for one another. And our mission is to make known the gifts of people with intellectual disabilities, revealed through mutually transforming relationships, to foster an environment and community that responds to the changing needs of our members, while being faithful to the core values of our founding story, and to engage in our diverse cultures, working together towards a more human society. We have 3 houses here in London. Cana House opened in 1997, Jubilee House in 2004, and Bethany House in 2008. And these are homes where men and women with and without disabilities live together and share life together, kind of very much a family-like environment where people join together in community and live a real community life together. And each person in each of our homes, we understand as uniquely gifted if you have a disability or you don't. We have, in each of our homes, we have 4 assistants who live in. These are people that come to live with our core members, people with intellectual disabilities. And together, everyone really creates a very much a home-like environment. In September 2017, we opened our gathering place in Lambeth, and that's the building that I referred to at 4448 Colonel Talbot Road. And that's a picture from the back of the building. And I'll be sharing a little bit about what our mission and what our work is in the gathering place. Here's a little picture right on the same property are some woods that we've really converted into a place to be, a place to sit and be well. And there's a little view of our building. And we have some really, some gardening happening on the property. And we were just so pleased in the last 2 months to receive a grant from the London Community Foundation to develop a community garden on the property. So we'll be developing this fall 12 plots and inviting gardeners from our neighborhood to join in and garden with us. This is a resilience grant that was made available by the Canadian Community Foundations and is administered by the London Community Foundation. And it's called a resilience grant, which supports communities to come out of the pandemic together in a healthy way and be connected in community. So we're excited to bring a community garden to our neighborhood of Lambeth. One of the plots will be a plot that's uniquely for growing food for the food bank, and our day program participants and assistants will be really working in that particular plot. I really wanted to give you an overview of what is happening at our day program. We have the things that are listed here are the programs that normally happen during non-COVID times, and a number of them we pivoted to an online forum for a number of them. It's a very rich program where we welcome people each week. Some people come for an hour for a class, some people come for half days, and some people come for full days and participate in a wide range of programs. We have music programs, fitness classes, line dancing, reading club, drama, visual arts programs. We have a beautiful Snoozeling room and our Bonjour Cafe. The programs that we were really able to bring online when the pandemic started were our music programs. We have Monday Morning Music Club on Monday mornings that is happening online, and about 120 people come. Well, anywhere from 80 people to 120 will come to Monday Morning Music Club and gather together to share music. We were able to continue with Music Makers, which became musical mentors during the pandemic. Musical Mentors is a program where adults with intellectual disabilities mentor children with intellectual disabilities in the school system. And through COVID, we've been able to do that online, and it's really been very, very beautiful. You can see there Jim playing the guitar on the left-hand side. Jim is a wonderful musician, and he has been one of the mentors in the Musical Mentors program. And yeah, it's been a gift for him to be able to share his gift with students from the high school, from a couple of high schools. And also, I think it's been a wonderful opportunity for students with disabilities in the high school system to really learn from a peer, an adult with Jim's particular gifts. It's been really beautiful. So we were able to bring music club, musical mentors and karaoke online through the pandemic. And then there's other programs that we haven't been able to do, and we're really looking forward to reopening in the months to come. We also have a very strong visual arts program: painting, paper making, clay, mosaics, candle making, soap making, and card making. And 3 of our programs really did pivot to be an online forum during the pandemic. And we had so many people joining us to do visual arts together online with Karina, our arts educator. Here are some pictures pre-pandemic. We are having our day programs to a limited extent back in the gathering place right now. And we're currently looking at reopening and welcoming more people back to those day and evening programs that we have. Bonjour Cafe is a wonderful morning that we have here every week in what would be normal times. We have teams of people that come to learn baking and cooking on Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays, the cafe is open from 9 till 1 here at the gathering place. And it's just a real opportunity for us to open our doors to our neighbors and to anyone who wants to come. And we have participant volunteers who are serving people, serving the public and supporting them. And we really, our dream is to really develop into a true social enterprise for the Bonjour Cafe. We're not there yet. Some of the people who participate in the Bonjour Cafe are starting to be paid, particularly at our open mic on Wednesday evenings. But our dream is that the Bonjour Cafe could become a social enterprise where people work and are paid, and that the funds support our the funds that come over and above the expenses and the salaries or the payment of people would come back into our nonprofit organization. It's a beautiful morning, and we hope to see that reopen in 2022. And we hope that any of you might come and join us for that. So these are some of the people that work in the Bonjour Cafe. It's a real opportunity for vocational development, learning in the kitchen, learning skills around baking and cooking, learning about hospitality, using the cash register, welcoming guests and serving guests. And we have, if you look at the bottom, it's an opportunity for both participating and for volunteering. Just wanted to share with you about our we have a Snoozeling room here at the gathering place, and it's a sensory integration room, which is really helpful for many people. It's a room that when COVID ends, we'll be reopening again for people to book time and enjoy that. Yeah, and this is, I'm not going to share this little video with you, but I wanted to share that sort of at the heart of our community is the relationships that we all have together. Like I said earlier, relationship is really at the heart of who we are, and we recognize that each person who's part of the community, whether they live with their parents in the neighborhood or in the greater London area, whether they live in one of our L'Arche homes locally, whether they are an assistant or a leadership team member, we all recognize that all of us have important gifts to share. And it's really in the relationships that we have, the core members, the gifts that they bring to community are as equally as important as an assistant or a community leader or a music educator. It's really beautiful, the experience we have in our homes of sharing life together and of recognizing one another's gifts. We really strive to value each and every person's gift. And I'm just thinking right now of, I see Katie on the couch there, and Katie and Jocelyn have been in community here together for, I think, at least, I want to say since 2004. They've both been here in community together, and they're very good friends, and they each bring their own gifts to that relationship. So yeah, that's really at the heart of our journey together here at L'Arche, relationships and community, and striving to welcome one another's gifts. This is Peter, and Peter is turning 80 this week. Peter lives at Bethany House, and I don't think he'd mind me telling you because he shared his own story before to many people, to larger groups. But Peter is a man who lived in he lived in an institution in Ontario for over 45 years, and he's been living now at Bethany House since 2008, when the final large regional centers in Ontario closed. And Peter is just an elder in our community. I'm choking up a little bit as I think about his 80th birthday and just how much he is a leader in our community, how he has a gift of hospitality and friendship and reflection. And it's just a joy to be in community together. And this week we're celebrating Peter's 80th birthday and tomorrow we'll be having a drive-by to do it pandemic style. And tomorrow evening he'll be having a meal in his house. And he's chosen, he's Ukrainian in his family lineage, and he's going to be having pierogies and cabbage rolls for his birthday dinner, his 80th. And we all knew that was going to be the choice because that's really his favorite. Here's another picture at Bethany House. You can see Peter in the background there, and Jules is one of the assistants playing guitar, and Paul is just enjoying some stretching out time on the mat. That's a really favorite place for Paul after dinner. He does require, for mobility, a wheelchair, and he requires full care. So the assistants come and are really well trained in supporting Paul. He is completely dependent on others for his personal care. And Paul too has a beautiful gift for presence and for friendship. And he also actually lived in a regional center for many years of his life. This is a picture of Karen and AB, and another an assistant and a core member at Bethany House. We are really blessed to have assistants come from all over the world at L'Arche and local. So we have there's always assistants that join us to live in one of our homes for 2 to 3 years, 1 to 3 years actually, or more. And many come from international countries, and many also come from Canada here and even in our own city. And this is a picture of, this is not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. And it gives you a little bit of an idea of the people in our community. We always have a big Christmas celebration at the gathering place. And we won't be doing that again this year. We do find other ways to meet during COVID, but we look forward to being together like that again, possibly for Christmas 2022. Oh, I don't think I meant to stop sharing, but I think that was the last slide. So maybe, I don't know how much time I have left. I wanted to add a little bit more information for you all.
Go ahead.
Yes, how much time do I have left, Don?
You have 10 minutes.
Oh, good. Okay. So I want to leave a few minutes for questions at the end, but I wanted to share that our 3 homes are funded by the Ministry of Community and Social Services. We receive full funding by MCCSS for our 3 homes, which is a great blessing. Our gathering place, however, is a kind of a mission of L'Arche that we fund ourselves. And we have a diverse revenue stream that funds the gathering place, which is fee for service, fundraised dollars, grants, and rentals. And we've just completed a business plan with the impact group of Pillar nonprofit. And we really, the gathering place is a new building, for a new place for us. And we're growing in terms of, really using that resource to capacity and using it well to support people in London who live with their families or are on their own in London. And so over the next 1 to 5 years, we're really going to work to be completely sustainable. In the event that we weren't receiving grants, we want to work towards a sustainability particularly with fee for service and fundraise dollars and rentals. So it's an exciting kind of mission, really. It's an exciting place because we have a freedom to kind of develop our programs, you know, and welcome people, really whoever desires to come. You know, we're not, because we're not funded by the ministry, we also have a kind of freedom to develop programs and that we really see the need for. You know, not that we would ever refuse ministry funding, but there is a kind of freedom, and we are finding our way towards financial sustainability there over the next 5 years. I also wanted to share that that we are, you know, we have some wonderful programs here at L'Arche that are both for people with and without disabilities. And we have a beautiful volunteer program as well. I'll give you an example. Over the last 2-3 years, we've received the grant. It's called New Horizons for Seniors grant. And we've been able to welcome people to arts programming, both seniors who have disabilities and seniors who don't have disabilities. And that's been such a wonderful place for people, both people with and without disabilities, to discover each other's gifts. You know, I think the core members of our community, whether they live in our homes or with their families, many of them have received, have experienced some marginalization, some of them a lot of marginalization, and, you know, not really being part of the community. And some of them, you know, to a lesser extent, marginalization. And this New Horizons for Seniors program is so beautiful in that it brings people with and without disabilities together. And there's just a lot of fun to be had and a lot of mutual recognition of one another's gifts. And we have a number of programs here at L'Arche where we really welcome people both with and without disabilities, because we feel like the core members of our community have so much to share with their community of L'Arche, of London. And we don't want to be a place that's just for one group of people. We really want to be a place where many, many people feel welcome. So the places where we have some, during normal times, and right now they're online, we have Monday Morning Music Club where everyone's welcome. We have the Wednesday Evening Coffee House where everybody's welcome. We have a drumming circle that is not going on through COVID, but in normal times, everyone's welcome for drumming circle as well, and coffee house on Thursday mornings. So if any of you would like to join us for any of those things, you know, you can join right away online, but you know, if you're looking to maybe connect with us after as the pandemic, as we reopen, you'd be welcome to come to any of those things I just mentioned. Yeah. And I'll share with you too that we have a really beautiful gala coming up February the 25th on a Friday evening. It's our annual gala and it will be happening online this year. We had it online last year. Sharon Lechner is one of the people that helps us to bring that gala to fruition. And the gala is a very beautiful evening of learning more about L'Arche, learning about our stories, because I think that's the most powerful way that people get to know us is through the stories that we have to share and the stories that our core members and assistants have to share. So please put that on your calendar for February the 25th. We would love to invite you virtually that night to our gala. And we promise that there'll be lots of wonderful stories about L'Arche London that evening. And if any of you have questions, I would love to answer them. I think we have a few more minutes.
So if anyone has a question, please use the raise your hand function. And if not, I have lots of questions that I want to ask too. So go ahead first, Diane.
Hello, thank you for taking my question. Could you please tell us what a Snooze Room is?
Yes, a Snoozeling room. It's one of the rooms in our community hub here at the Gathering Place. I'm here today. My office is in the Gathering Place, and a Snoozeling room. Snoozeling is a Dutch word for for like being cozy, being well. And so when you snoozle, you're well and you're cozy and you feel good. And so the Snoozeling room is a kind of sensory integration room where people can engage different kind of sensory objects. There are bubble tubes, there's music, there's the opportunity to build slideshows, there's tactile things, there's a beautiful swing that's very relaxing to sit in. And it's just a place for people that might have difficulty in day-to-day life integrating their environments. People who live with autism can find their sensory environments extremely overloading sometime. And the sensory room, the Snoozeling room, is a place where people can come and just relax and choose to engage sensory experiences on their own quietly. It can be very refreshing for people. It's recreational and it's also therapeutic. Yeah.
Sounds like a lovely place to be.
It is. And you're all welcome to come and try it sometime if you'd like.
Are there other questions? Well, Diane stole one of my questions, or my first question. But I did have a question about the Bonjour Cafe. Is it more of just a drop-in sort of cafe, or do you also take orders and fulfill orders for organizations or businesses? Or
yes, we do. We do. That is part of our kind of our sustainability plan. That we did a little business plan for the Bonjour Cafe, and one of the ways that, unfortunately, the business plan was just completed prior to the pandemic starting, so we had to close the cafe. We will be reopening it, and part of the plan to make that sustainable is a kind of catering. Yeah, catering, particularly baked goods, and we did this we did that with actually Huron University College. We did some catering to them prior to the pandemic starting. And we hope when we return to be able to provide particularly baking trays to organizations that would be interested in purchasing them. Yes.
And before I ask my next question, does anyone else have a question? So you use the phrase in community, and I think you referenced that some of your volunteers are from overseas and are long-term volunteers. Can you explain that a little bit more, how that all works?
Actually, people we have right now living in our homes, we have 12 assistants. And those assistants choose to come and live in our L'Arche home we ask for a commitment of a year normally at minimum. And we also have some co-op students. Right now we have 2 co-op students from the University of Waterloo that are choosing to spend 4 months in our home. But yeah, the people that come from international to live in our L'Arche homes are paid. Like they come as employees of L'Arche, and they don't come as volunteers, they come as paid people. And right now I would say out of the 12 people that are living in our homes, I think 4 or 5 are on work visas. Like we have a person from Brazil, we have a person from Bahama, we have a person from the Netherlands, and yeah, Kimberly came via Iceland recently. So, and it's just to come and live an experience in a L'Arche community. I did that myself when I was 21. I went for 2 years to live in a L'Arche community in France. And it's a powerful experience for these young people to live in a L'Arche home in an international environment. So in this case, in Canada. And I would say the other 7 or 8 live-in assistants are Canadians and are working in our homes and choosing to be there for anywhere from a year. Actually, there's the co-ops that come. We always have at least 1 co-op, and many of our assistants stay for 2 to 3 to 5 years as supporting and living in our homes. Yeah, and then we have a very active volunteer. I would say a very active volunteer program here. We have a volunteer coordinator, and we have Actually, I'll just share my screen. I missed some slides. There's a slide about volunteering. There's a lot of opportunities to volunteer at large, starting with our board, for instance. We have an active board of directors. We're actually recruiting right now for a person for our finance committee. So if any one of you would find that compelling, and might feel that a finance committee at a wonderful nonprofit like L'Arche London would be compelling to you, then please contact me. But yeah, we have our board, but we have such a large core of volunteers. I would say we have probably about 35 to 40 active volunteers in our community. The pandemic threw a bit of a monkey wrench into that. And then when you add up all the volunteers that would just maybe serve at 1 or 2 functions per year, or it's more along the lines of 80 or 90 people. Yeah, so we have volunteerism is really alive and well in our community. It's very like an example is Monday morning music club. There's just one paid person to run that Monday morning music club, and we have about 7 volunteers that come faithfully every Monday morning to support with playing instruments and doing the technical stuff and all of that. Yeah.
Kirk, you had a question?
Yeah, I'm right here. Sorry, I had to find you on mute. Thank you very much for the presentation, Marietta. Really enjoyed it. And just for the club members, when I was with Waterloo, I was the site supervisor of the golf students at L'Arche. And I will tell you, this operation is something to behold. I visited all 3 homes that they have and met many of the staff and people and volunteers, etc. So, what she says is, it rings so true with this community and the good work it does for the residents and day visitors, etc., that come to it. So I would encourage each and every one of you to take her up on an offer to attend one of their places or this news center that they have. And once again, thank you, Marietta, for the presentation.
Thank you, Kirk. And it's so true that we are a very hospitable community. And so if you had a desire to visit one of our homes, actually not right now because of COVID, we are under very strict guidelines from the ministry, but very soon, if you had a desire to come for a meal in one of our homes or a lunch at our gathering place, just a walk and a talk, on our property, you would be extremely welcome. Welcome is kind of at the heart of our L'Arche community and of L'Arche. Also, I know that's a kind of core value of L'Arche communities around the world. So thanks for those kind words, Kirk.
So it appears there are no other questions. So Marietta, I would like to thank you for your presentation today. And in recognition of your presentation to the Rotary Club of London, a contribution has been made to the Rotary Foundation's Polio Plus campaign to immunize 50 infants against polio. Because of you, Rotary is now one step closer to a polio-free world. So once again, thank you very much. And we will let you go ahead.
Yes. It's been wonderful to be here with you. And I think I'm going to go now. I just really appreciate this time together. And at any time, if you're interested in learning more, please call me. My name is Marietta Drost. And if you Google L'Arche London, you'll find my contact information.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. So I think, Rick, is there an update from the nomination committee? We had a closing date on Saturday for nominations.
Yes, I guess you missed my email.
Yes, I did.
According to the bylaws, the president is to do the final report, but I don't mind stepping in and doing it for you, President Don.
You have to convince the president to read his email on a Monday.
There was no further nominations from the general membership, so that the slate put forward by the nominating committee is the final slate of officers, And all of those officers and directors have been elected by acclamation. And to repeat, they will be taking office as of July 1st, 2022. President-elect John Finan, Secretary Jim Belton, Treasurer Keith Morrow, Director Julie Pontus to serve for a 2-year term, and Director Sharad Ray to serve for a 2-year term. Right now, we will have, and as of June 30th, there are 4 directors that are currently slated to serve for until the end of June 2023. So 2 of those directors, I will be consulting with the 4 to see, I think I have one already, pretty sure I have one, and see if there's another one that'll agree to retire as of June 30th, 2023. And that will bring us into balance with the new board structure that is proposed in the amended constitution and the amended bylaws, which the membership will be receiving after they have been approved by the board this coming Wednesday. And at that time, we will be shrinking our board down to a group of 10, one of which will be with from the Satellite Club, the chair of the Satellite Club. So there's my report. Thank you for the candidates that agreed to allow their name to stand. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to your participation on the board of the Rotary Club of London.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rick. Rotarian of the Year. I think this is your last chance, Diane.
All right. Hi, everyone. So this is your last chance because I will be making my, my recommendation to the board this coming Wednesday for the Rotarian of the Year award. So if you do have anyone you'd like to nominate, get it into me ASAP. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Are there any other announcements from anyone?
Can I make a quick announcement, Don?
Yes, you may, Malcolm.
On behalf of the Rotary Club of London Hyde Park, we sent an email out about our fellowship dinner this coming Saturday at West Haven Golf Club. There's room for 6 more people if you'd like to join. It's $60 a person. Full Christmas dinner with turkey and ham and mashed potatoes, and all socially distanced, of course, to go in, and tables of 6. So you got the email from Keith Morrow about it. If you'd like to come and join us, I know Ron Posno and his wife are coming, and I'll be there with Donna. So please take a look at your calendars. And this coming Saturday, West Haven, about 6:30. It's all in the email. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements? So before we wrap up the meeting for today, a few reminders as to what is coming up. We do have a board meeting this week on the 17th at 5 p.m. Our speaker next week will be Ben Porchuk, talking to us about the Medway Valley. The Satellite Club meeting is tomorrow night, and they will have a speaker from Project Hope presenting. And as always, we have a cocktail hour tomorrow at 5 p.m. and the Coffee Clutch Thursday at 10:30 a.m. And that is everything for our meeting this week. A reminder that our theme this year is Serve to Change Lives. I encourage everyone to change people's lives by serving during the next week. Thank you and have a good day.